Maybe it's a kind of psychological warfare. He's like, I know, I'll drive Dad mad by behaving well for a change. And you'll just spend the whole hour wondering what on earth's wrong with Bob and what he's gonna do next.
Nope, he just found a piece of poop to play with. Bob!
No, Bob.
So much for that
Babaloo.
theory then.
It's not, there's plenty of stuff to play with. You don't need to do that.
So far, the YouTube doesn't work for me. How's
doesn't-
it work at your end, Eleanor?
Seems to be working for me.
Okay, so it's probably just sometimes waiting a little help. Yeah, there it is.
At least it's not like Windows where you have to constantly reboot.
Actually, I rebooted a couple of times or reloaded. Aaron was the one before every one of us and Michelle. So hello and welcome, Aaron and Michelle. Great to see you.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Michelle. Yeah,
And
when I was telling, go ahead. I hear you got something warm.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, it just jumped up from 1 person watching to 8 people watching.
Wow.
So hello, folks.
And GTH is
Hello.
here.
Hi, GTH. Hello, and welcome to Cockatude. Cockatude is with attitude. Snowball, you have anything to say? Now you've thrown 2 out. He tossed both those at me, trying to get me to play. Bob?
Everybody's wondering about Bob being so good, so well behaved.
Yeah, he's I don't know, he's been replaced. I've got an imposter. Nanobots have infected his brain. Hi, KK.
Okay. Hello.
Snowball, you don't have anything to say to your public? Snowball. Now your eyes are like half-mast, huh? I didn't pick up one to play with you right away. You've got to be up higher. I can't throw it down at you down there. It hurts. You have to throw it up. We used to do it on the floor, and he'd be on the floor. I'd throw it to him too, but we were on equal level pretty much when I did that. I know. He's looking right at it. See those frisbees? That's what I want. Oh, you won't let me have it, will you? Well, then you're going to have to go up to play. All right. Well, we'll wait till you go up there. Bob, you have anything you want to say? You want to hide? Okay. There's KK. Mander will probably be in here the next time we do this. He has, hey, Pippa. I did a whole a functional analysis, but it took quite a while. It took me almost a week to figure this out. As his dose of haloperidol went down, he became less and less sane. So more running around, more constantly looking at the underside of his cage, all that. So, Jazz, wake up. Jasmine. Jazzy Jazz Bird. Ah, there's the eyes. Hi. Hello.
The Jazzy Jazz Birdie.
Got her to open her eyes anyway. Hi. Sugar Bird. Hi, Sugar Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's not too happy that Lucy is that close to her.
Oh, come on, Shuggy. We thought you have become very social over the last couple of episodes.
She's a little better about it.
She looks like she's a white bird. She could preen, so it looks like she's a little bit thinking about that. Shuggy.
Her beak is getting shorter, but it's still, it's going to take a while for it to be normal.
No, I just
Probably.
think if Shuggy is really annoyed about, she probably would go farther away and turn around. But she's sitting pretty close, being nice fluffed up, and looked at the Lucy, so why not?
I mean,
Cecil.
Moving away and going to the other end of the perch would involve moving, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's also true.
Cecil, what are you doing? Sea salt.
Cecil. So handsome, Cecil. How do you manage it? I guess you were hatched that way.
He probably has been a handsome egg.
Good boy. Now, Sugar's preening. Cecil's just sitting there.
Is Babaloo still there, or has he now kind of? Oh my gosh, he's still a good boy. Maybe
you're not supposed to be on that.
A record mission. How long can Bob be a good boy?
I try to keep him off the right side of my body. It's just.
Maybe that's his program, pretending to be good and trying to sneak on the other side.
He's going to eventually figure out what I did with the AirPod case. It's in my back pocket. So he's looking for it, trying to find it, and doesn't know where it is. So he's got to find something else.
Bob? Have you been bamboozled, Babaloo?
See, what I watch when I tell him not to do something, when I'm making that sound, it's because these feathers right back here are starting to come up and he's looking at KK. So it's an indicator of where his attention is. And he's becoming territorial. So
Jocelyn and her Cockatoo cinema men are here in chat. Welcome.
Hello, Cinnamon. Hello, Jocelyn.
Oh, so Cinnamon's in timeout, apparently. Bob isn't, but Cinnamon is.
Why is Cinnamon in timeout?
He'd been on Jocelyn's shoulder all morning getting his head scratches, but now he's in timeout. So
maybe he's also allowed to, despite that, allowed to watch. So we don't know.
Where'd your ball go? I mean, I went to all that effort to bring a ball out for you, and now Bob has done something with it. I had more of them here too. I don't have any. Oh, there it is. Oh, nice place to put it, Bob.
So is Pippa out? I seem to have missed her. Oh, there she is.
Hi, Pip. Hello, Pip.
Pip, Pip, Pip. Oh, now Cecil has the rattle ball. Does it smell like Bob?
Bob, get over here. Get over here. You know, he could eat you for breakfast. You're a chicken. He's going to pull out all your tail feathers because you're going to be running away. You're not supposed to be on that side anyway. Get over on the other side. Go on. Go on. He's too territorial. If I let him get on both sides, he thinks he owns the whole chair. I know, I gave it to you, so you dropped it. Went under the chair.
Verb logic.
He's been a little calmer than normal too. This one, he's not hitting me in the head as much as he used to. What's wrong with you? You're supposed to hit me in the head.
Maybe Amanda has absorbed all the crazy.
Oh, it got to the point where I knew I was going to have to do something. So I took my time to figure out what it was, and I looked back through the records, and as I reduced the amount of Haldol he got, the worse he became. So he wasn't tearing out his feathers though, but he was exhibiting other signs of psychotic behavior. There's one for the books, but I guess that's common with people. If you take away their medication, they can really go crazy. So
Oh, it's nice to see the boys screening.
so he should be stable and ready to come back in here by next Monday.
So, have I said Rosebud is here with us? Hello and welcome.
Oh.
And GTH says it looks like Don's crossed leg allows Bob to patrol. Yeah, Bob patrol.
Hi, Rosebud. Glad you could make it. Oh, look, I think Snowball's talking to Rosebud. You're showing your feet? Are you showing your feet? Yeah. Gar? Okay. What are you doing? What's doing? He likes to say, what's doing? What's doing, Snowball?
What's doing?
What's doing?
What's doing?
Bob, why are you over on the right side of me again? Please don't do that. Get on the left, please.
He's probably searching for whatever you have in your back pocket now, and he doesn't know it.
Yeah, he doesn't know there's a back pocket. He hasn't figured that out yet. I hope he doesn't.
Well, I don't know if he can hear us and he can figure out what a back pocket is, then.
He's pretty smart. Now, he can't hear you right now. He's behaving so well, I'd be afraid to put the speaker
No,
on.
don't. I like to see a well-behaved Bob. Well, he's always well-behaved. You're always good boy.
He doesn't do as well when I'm holding the phone and we're doing videos because he knows I have one less hand I can go after him with. So. What? What? What did you say? Bob, you don't have to get on the right side. Move. Thank you. Good boy. Yeah, I know. I forgot to bring extra wood in. You'll have to go find it, Bob. There's wood around here. Snowball.
Oh,
Sugar bird.
Shiggy Rouse.
Did I touch your tail? Did I get your attention, Lucy? Mm-hmm.
Oops. Loose goose. Oh, a sneeze.
Bless you.
Yeah, the humidity plus the anti-inflammatories seems keeps her from doing it. But once she starts the preening process, she just sneezes. In the wild, the feather dust goes away, but in here, all we've got is that one HEPA filter in this room, and it doesn't. You need something that can circulate the air about every 10 minutes. You can't do that.
Maybe Pippa
It's true.
needs an umbrella to bring her, and that'll help her sneezes.
Maybe.
She needs an assistant.
I'm watching this guy because he started chewing a little bit more on his feathers. He used to just do this outer feather a little bit, but now he's kind of moving down some. So I don't want to give you any meds, so let's work around that, okay?
The Cecil.
The Cecil, yeah. Yeah, he's starting to, come here, this is a bad angle for that here. Get my finger under there. Come on, let's target. That's not too bad over there, but gotta watch him. I think he'll be okay though. He's got to keep plenty of toys for him to play with, right, Cecil? He's been doing more nesting behavior with his toys lately, so. Right?
They're going to start using the rattle ball as an egg.
He sits on his rain stick. He's got this big rain stick. It's about a foot long, about an inch and a half in diameter. He sits on that.
Oh my. That's a big egg.
What do you expect to hatch there, Cecil? Dinosaur Cecil.
He drags it all the way up from the bottom. He'll sit on a perch high up. And if I'm bringing peanut butter around or something, you hear this bang because he drops it when he wants the peanut butter.
That's cute.
Cecil,
Don't you,
or
big
do you
boy?
need a teddy bear?
Oh, is that the thing where he glued his beak to it one time?
No.
I think it is. Oh no, it's something else.
No, that was a clear like urethane tube with holes in it, and it had PVC caps on it. And he got his beak in there. You got to be careful with things like bells, where they can get their beak because they're hook bills, and they get hooked in there and they can't get loose. Yeah, he can't play with that toy anymore. It's hard to know what's safe for these guys. If it's wood, they can chew through it, but if it's plastic, so you're so quiet, big boy. Sugar, are you trying to tell me something? You are. Huh?
That's new. Don saying it's so quiet and Babaloo is actually loose.
Yeah, he's just preening now. So he's made a couple of attempts in the direction of KK to try to focus his attention there, but I caught him quick enough. So. Oh, that's a good story I've got about antipsychotic drugs. I know a lot of people don't like giving their birds things that affect their minds, but the mind and body are one thing. And if you've got an ailment in the mind, and there's some kind of medicine you can get to alleviate it, then you don't want them to suffer. But I can go way back to one of my wives. Her husband decided he didn't want to deal with their son anymore, and he had custody. So he was going to pack him off to some place out of California to some place, some kind of work farm in Texas. And my wife didn't want to do that. So she took full custody of him, full custody. And he gave up his custody on him altogether. And when he came to us, he was on a psychiatric drug. And at the time, I was like so many people, even though I had a scientific background. Well, he doesn't need to be on drugs. He looks perfectly normal. So we took him off the psychiatric drugs. And within, well, the first thing that happened was we went in the cabinets and the refrigerator and all the food was gone. He just went through and ate everything. Like in one night, he ate all the food we had in the house. I'm not kidding. I mean, he didn't eat the flour or, you know, that kind of thing, but everything else was gone. So that's when my wife said, oh yeah, when I went up there, I noticed they had locks on all their cabinets and even on the refrigerator. I said, oh really? So we had to put locks on everything. And we still didn't decide to put him back on the drugs. So while he was at school, he told the counselor there that he was going to turn the gas on the stove, let it run for about 20 minutes, and then flick a bit. And his younger sister, who was 7, I think, at the time, we would have all died. So they took him down to a psychiatric facility. And then they took him to a main facility this was in San Diego. They took him to a main facility. And just to shorten the story, once they put him back on psychiatric drugs, he stopped trying to eat everything, which is kind of what Mander was doing. He was just trying to make nests, and that's all he wanted to do. It's just nest. You give him 10 pine cones, and in 10 minutes they're all gone. I mean, they're all gone. It turned them to powder. And there are just some animals, including humans, that do better with psychiatric drugs, something to stop that habitual behavior. In his case, he was acting like a maniac. Well, that's what my stepson did at the time. So that's where I first learned that maybe there's times when you really do want people to have drugs. So, although when it comes to humans, there are a lot of drugs, a lot of conditions they really can't deal with. We don't know how to deal with them. So, but he was obviously unhappy. And then when you went to try to take him out of the cage, I could get him out, but I'd have to sit there for 15 minutes and keep coaxing him. And, it was just the oddest behavior. I did video it, but I don't keep those videos. I just examine them, and once I've made a decision, I dump them. But and he's such a good bird. I couldn't stand to see him suffering like that. So he's kind of transitioning now. He's calm, but doesn't quite know. How would I put it? He's not back to the way he used to be. But he's calm. He's not running around. He's not tearing up his perches. I gave him a new rope perch, and he almost had it gone in a day. Almost had it, but he wasn't even focused on it. But when he was sitting there, he couldn't help. He'd have to tear up the rope perch. And considering his physical problems with his twisted pelvis and hey. And he used to be a cruise missile, when I first got him, pretty much attacking people and stuff. Hey, he never did that to me, but other people. Sugar.
Bless you, Pip.
That's Lucy. Leave Lucy. Come here, Lucy. Come on. She's gonna bother you. Come on. Pretty bird. You want to sit down here? All right. Well, you will in a minute because once she gets in that mood, she'll come after you.
Oh my, she's got the flappets now.
I love Shiggy
Yeah.
flappies. What are
Shiggy
you
flappies.
pretending? What are you doing, Shig?
You're trying to intimidate Lucy. I don't think it's working.
Might be. Shiggy tries to intimidate more often lately.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. They figure out. The thing is, you cannot intimidate Lucy.
No, that's the thing. She's not easy to intimidate.
She's yawning.
Mm.
She's like,
She's
is that all
yawning
you've
like-
got? Boring.
That's the thing with Lucy. Nothing. She's never impressed by anything. Anyone.
Sugar won't give up in these kind of situations either. She'll just keep going until she'll eventually move on to that other perch. Try to chase her out of there.
Well, it's very impressive, Shiggy. Nice to see you getting your exercise for a change.
What are you doing, Sugar Bird?
Sugar bed.
Well, that means she's going to have the rouse means she's going to have a slightly different change of behavior. Question is what she's going to do.
Let's see. Shiggy.
Can I pet your
Shiggy.
beak? You come over here and
Shiggy,
calm me down.
Shall we talk a little bit about fries?
French fries?
Hello, Shug.
French fries and spooky castles.
Spooky castles. Shiggy.
Well, we're finally done in the double digits today. Supposed to get to the high, supposed to be 98, a nice cool 98 degrees.
Wow.
Excellent.
We've got a few days of that in the middle of summer, and it's supposed to get back over 100. What are you doing, Shug? I tried to distract her, but she's
She's
single-minded.
busy being social. Shuggy, she's just sitting there. Well, whatever. We have a little frisbee player down there. So cute.
Snowbird.
Snowball.
Yeah, she's moving.
That wasn't right, Bob. No. Yeah. Oh, you really want to go in that timeout cage? Is that what you want to do? Stop it. Snuck over and tried to go for KK. Not brilliant.
Maybe he has figured out where your airport case is, and he wants you now to stand up for that.
Anything's possible. You better behave yourself, Bob. Like telling him to behave himself ever does any good. Boo.
Oh, Bob.
KK's not going to put up with that. Not going to. You better not get on the floor. You go to the floor, you'll end up in the timeout cage. You know that. Then he makes me chase him around. He darts underneath the chair. see. KK doesn't mind Snowball being around, but he's not going to tolerate Bob playing his games. Right, KK? Jasmine, what you doing? Hi, Jazz. Snowball, I don't think he minds you being there.
Jazzy, up on the pole.
Yeah, that's one of her favorite places. She likes that, or up on top of that, or all the way in the corner back there. Until I take out the three birds that can't be in here when Lorelai's in the room, and then she'll come over and want to sit on me.
Oh no, I think Shuggy went back there intentionally to play secretly. Now she's pretending to be in a sulk, right? So no, I'm not playing.
I don't do such things. It's quiet today. Everyone's being so good.
Bob, leave him alone.
I just in the replay one really can see Sugar is like, no, I don't play. I don't play. I don't play. Do the camera away. You don't the camera away? Okay, Rouse, whatever. I play. Hi, Shuggy. Now she's coming back. Yeah, I think she's angry. Oh no, we have discovered her secret. Now she needs to distract. No, she wasn't playing. That's a big misunderstanding.
She wasn't playing, she was serious.
Yeah.
Oh, Sugar, you're the funniest thing.
Yeah, she's funny because it's really obvious she doesn't like Lucy to sit there, but I don't know why. She's so far away from her.
Maybe just because they're facing each other.
Yeah, but sure. Yeah, maybe Lucy was faced in a different direction the last time. I'm not sure.
Maybe she thinks, Lucy, you should turn around so that you're not looking at me. And then Lucy's like, no, you turn around if it bothers you.
Pretty song, Jazzy Jazzbird. Pretty song.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on with the Shuggy today, but it's funny. Shuggy, usually you don't care.
Bob, watch yourself now. You know, you're starting to look at him again. Cut it out.
Yeah. The chat is already waiting for Bob to do something.
Jazzy flaps as well. That's nice.
Jazzbird.
Oh, Cinnamon flew over into Jocelyn's bedroom.
That's nice. I'm glad he is flying well.
Mm. And Rosebud says Sugar is flapping those wings, and now Jasmine is was flapping those wings.
Yeah.
Lots of Moluccan lady flap today.
Now Jasmine's going on a walkabout.
Yeah, Moluccans can be so dramatic. I wonder if they are in real, in the wild on Saram, if there's also so much drama. Like they're sitting on a tree and making drama, and on another tree sits another bird and making drama, and all the other non-Moluccan birds think like, oh no.
I expect they do.
Yeah.
It seems to be a species thing. Like all the Moluccans on YouTube all make drama.
Mm. Oh. Shuggy.
Was that supposed to be a threatening poop, or was that just?
I don't think so.
Just wanted to maintain eye contact with Lucy while doing it.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Do you think Sugar is going over?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Why are you doing that, Sugar?
What the heck are you doing, Sugar?
This is very strange behavior.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she wants that perch. It looks a little bit like her old perch. You know, the really cute one she had back in the hill house.
It's like everyone's got a personality transplant today.
Yeah, it's like Shuggy and Bob has changed a bit.
I think the closest one to what she had is that one in the back by the window there. If I can ever get time to strip it down. Hi, Snowball. Yeah, I know what you want. Just right now,
That with the
Bob,
perch was no accuse, but that was a really lovely perch she had down there, and I think she loved it dearly. So it was we really I have to have a look on it. It also had some fun toys added, like some scarves or cotton, so she could chew, and it was really colorful, and yeah, it just looked lovely.
that one could work for her too. I don't know.
Looks like the chat is now comparing Shuggy and Lucy to some Western. Stare down at the Parham Coral, and GTA says one of those 15-minute scene before the shootout.
I'm your Huckleberry. Question is, which one is Doc Holliday and which one's Johnny Ringo? I guess that must be Johnny Ringo.
And we have a new chatter here. Janice Young says, hi, I am interested in buying a cockatoo. You do nothing else but encourage me. What age is best? What type? This is not my first big bird.
Well, cockatoos are a study to themselves. A lot of rescues won't take them in. It's not a problem with the cockatoos, though. The problem is with people. They take a lot of time and effort. You're not going to get away with giving them the time you give an African gray or an Amazon. That's for sure. And you don't want to buy one. You want to adopt one. There's plenty of birds out there that need to be adopted. You want this, Bob? Why don't you get? You're not supposed to be on the right side. Scoot. Darn it. Scoot. Yeah. Scoot. Go where you're supposed to go. There you go. Good boy. Well, you weren't ready. I'm sorry. Come on, you can do it. Well, that was out of my reach. What do you want me to do now? Well, I can't throw it to you if you climb down. No, you've got to get back up there. I could hand it to you from here. Okay. You want to play with them on the floor, that's okay.
Oh, and another chatter is new. It's River Bradford saying hello, welcome, good to see you.
Hello.
Hello.
Snowball, you want to throw the frisbee to the new people or the old people? Or the new
So
old people?
Janice was saying it's not the first big bird, so maybe you can write in chat what other birds you have had. So when
Yeah,
big bird might be Amazon or macaw or something like that.
Yeah, they're not. You can ignore to some degree a true parrot, but when it comes to cockatoos, you can't do that. Not unless you like to hear something scream at you all day long at 125 decibels, or if when they get really upset like that, it's difficult to get them to. What's the word? Harder to get them to step up and easier to get them to bite. They don't bite naturally. You have to really aggravate them, but.
One thing what was in the question when it was about age is the most people when you buy a cockatoo, so you get them as a baby, and then they are usually hand braided. So when you get them, they are baby, and cockatoos are not that famous, but they get in a really severe puberty for several years, and in that time, yeah, they can make your life to hell, because the thing is they get this mating urge and that really strange new feelings and behave accordingly. So, and as it's a cockatoo and not a human, and you cannot talk to them and talk it out, so yeah. That's actually a reason for which actually counts for going and adopt a cockatoo who is already adult or even elderly, because they can get up to 80 years. And I just guess now you are an adult, so when you get a baby cockatoo, it has a far longer lifespan than you were expecting. So it's always a good thing to adopt an elder bird.
Yeah, and they'll
if
come
one really wants to
problem.
have a cockatoo and can afford it and can manage to to care for it properly. So there is no need for getting a young cockatoo. So if you want it to that it talks or certain other behaviors, so that's not true. You can train them in every age. The thing is, often when you get a baby cockatoo, it's super docile the first couple of months, and then when it gets into puberty or so, it suddenly doesn't know any of his behavior anymore, and then you have to train again and train again and train again. So yeah, that it never stops. So it's okay having an adult one. And the thing with talking is some choose to talk, they are super talkers, some don't talk anything. For example, Shuggy over there, there is actually the legend that she sometimes says hi, but no one of us has heard it. Most of the time she whines, so that's her favorite sound.
Yes, she will occasionally say, hi. Right, Sugar?
Hi.
Yeah.
Is it like a girly voice or is it a man voice?
Yeah,
She does that.
it's a girly voice. Hi. Looking at me because I'm saying it now. Yeah, when the breeders will, well, because they're capitalists and all they care about is money, and no matter what they tell you, they may like having birds around them, but they're trying to make money on them. They don't feed them the right food. They wean them too early because if they want to sell them to a pet store, they've got to be weaned. So they're Lorelei, who's not in the room right now, she weaned herself. She's supposed to let them wean themselves at 1 year and 3 months. So if they're weaning them at 3 months or 6 months, they're going to have dietary problems. Depending on how they fed them, some of these places put tubes down their throat to feed them instead of letting them actually eat, which does two things. It gives them dietary problems because they don't know what to eat. It's been going down their throat in a tube, so they never even see it. And then sometimes it'll cause like what you see you can't see it in him right now because I just did his beak yesterday, but he has scissor beak, and that's from improper feeding. They feed on one side only with something hard, and if the beak is soft, it causes scissor beak. They have that their whole life long. You may not see that when you first get the bird, and then later on it'll happen. And that means you're going to be going to the vet once a month or once every 2 months. But if you go to a rescue, the rescue will have had the bird for a while, and they'll know what its ins and outs are, and they can tell you. Whereas as soon as you put it in your house, you're going to have other things that you do that are going to cause the bird's behaviors to change. And it'll do things that cause your behaviors to change. So as Dr. Friedman said, whenever you're around a bird or within earshot of a bird where they can hear you, there's training going on. So, and they're so darn smart. Now, they should be left in the wild. These guys shouldn't be in captivity. They're way too smart to be in captivity. Just ask the people in Australia who've got these birds double teaming a trash can to open it to get into it. 2 birds work in the same trash can.
Yeah, there's something else, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're amazing. But they belong in the wild. They don't belong in captivity. It gives them all kinds of problems. Number one is the feather picking. So if you get a baby, it's not going to be feather picking. But once it goes into adolescence, when those hormones hit their system, that happened with Lorelei. She just started ripping her feathers off, and she'd been trained pretty much like a bird. She was allowed to be flighted. She flew around wherever she wanted. I went in a cage. You have to train them to be in a cage too, because they can. There's a lot of dangers in our environment. Electrical sockets, wires, that kind of thing. Paint. There's so many different things that can hurt them. So these guys are pretty busy. I mean, they may not look like it right now, but this is just a quiet time of day. So, and if you're used to something like an Amazon, quite frequently they do like to sit, like you see Sugar. But most of these birds are moving around most of the time, doing stuff, especially once Bob leaves. Most of them would like to get on my lap, but he is such a room monitor, and he's so territorial on my lap. That's what happens when you're 11 years old, which is when I got him, and he's been rehomed 8 times. So the idea that somebody likes him and wants to be with him is not something he understands, really. Right, Bob?
Babaloo. What is it?
Babaloo is nodding.
It's been so
Yeah,
good today.
River Bradford is telling that they found a rescue near them now because they think about getting a bird and thinking about fostering one beforehand. So I think that's actually a good way to go when one thinks about getting a larger parrot like a cockatoo or so. The thing is, when the breeder or people who want to sell you, they often don't tell you the whole truth. So one gets a better picture of what's actually what it means to have one when one goes to the rescues, because they get in contact with a lot of people who actually were lied by the breeders and afterwards regret their choice to have a cockatoo or other parrot in the house. And now, yeah, they want to get rid of them, and then they end up after, yeah, a really terrible journey in the rescue, because before the people give the bird to the rescue, they suffer a lot and the bird suffers. So it's often not nice to hear that stories, but I think one gets the more accurate picture of what it means to have a bird. And they often are the more experienced caretaker and can tell you what to do to make a bird happy. And even if it sounds like a lot of work, that's the thing, it is a lot of work. It can be a full-time job, and it can cost you your full-time job, like the bird, when it requires medicine or veterinary care, can go into the thousands. So one never knows. Also, what Don discussed was that the bird can destroy stuff. So yeah, if you have something really expensive around the bird and the bird goes there and chews, then yeah. Right, Bob?
Yeah, like when he ate The Office, when this animal hospital that had him, they adopted him out to a guy who left him in his office for an hour by himself. And the guy took off. He came back and Bob had taken all the keys off of all the keyboards. He ripped all the printers apart. And then he brings Bob back and says, well, he's too destructive. And I mean, I would have looked at him right in the face and said, what kind of an idiot would leave a bird alone in a room like that? But they didn't qualify the people who were adopting terrible well. And then you got to change. You've already have a parrot, you have to change things. No Teflon, no self-cleaning ovens, no carpet fresh on the carpet. I mean, there's just a ton of things you can't do. Can't cook hot oil because it can kill them. You get the oil too hot in the air. So much that you can't do. But I have a spot over there. I've got the wood to fix it, where KK was able to get behind that box. And yes, I let him. He doesn't even go in the box anymore, but I let him when he first came in here because he felt more comfortable in the box. He would go in there when he was feeling nervous. But there's a whole section back there of baseboard I have to replace, about 2 foot long. So he got behind the box and did that where I couldn't see him.
Naughty KK.
I think you remember that the founder bird of the sanctuary, Chloe, was left alone by her former parents for a weekend, and she threw down a whole cabinet.
Yep. He turned a whole They had a wooden medicine cabinet in their bathroom. She went in there and tore the whole thing down. But leaving a bird alone for 2 days, can't do that. They didn't even have somebody come in and check on her, and if you're using Lixit bottles, you have the advantage of that bottle will be there, and if you have it secured properly, they'll have water, but things can happen. So you got to make sure that they have water. You got to check it a couple of times a day. With a Lixit bottle, you can go up to 3 days, but these guys have a regular bowl that has to be changed twice a day, and then they have the Lixit bottles in there too. So today, Cecil was on his Lixit bottle because he took his old water and took a bath in it, and then about half hour later, I put new water in there. He took a bath in it. So he's got the Lixit bottle till tonight, don't you? Yeah, that's okay. He drinks out of it. What I do with those is I have a grease pencil, and when I refill them, I mark them where they are, so I can look to see if they're drinking, because they're just now getting used to it. his has dropped in 2 days by 1.5 inches. So, and then he's drinking out of the other bowl too. So,
Sorry for the yawning. I
yeah,
just want to remind all watchers it's close to 10 p.m. here. So
uh-huh.
Well, it's just another 5 minutes and we'll wrap things up.
Yep.
no, it's not noon here, so I'm not like, oh yeah, it's noon. Well, actually, if you are a shuggy bird, that's allowed, but I'm not a shuggy bird.
Yeah, they look pretty docile in here, but these guys are pretty active. Even the Lucy bird here is active, right, Lucy?
Lucy's active. She was only
Most of the time she's busy. Yeah, she's doing something.
Yeah, not now. She was being stared down by the shark.
Once Babalu goes in, then and Bob and Cecil and Snowball can't be in here with Lorelai. Snowball wants to mate with her. Cecil thinks he is her mate, and he actually is in his head. And Bob just, I don't know why, but he's all of a sudden started being aggressive to her. So they go out, and then all the other birds, that'll be about an hour from now, then all the other birds will just come over here and all get busy. It's like they're not going to get too busy with Bob out because Bob always tries to tell everybody else what to do. There's a Triton for you. And you never know what you're going to get either. I mean, you know, if you go to a rescue, you're going to have a better idea because they will have worked with the bird to some degree. If they have any classes, I don't care how many birds you've had. If they have any classes, take them. I've told this story a million times, and I'm Sagittarius, so I'm not exaggerating. But the woman who told me, well, I don't see why I should have to take classes. I had an African gray for 8 years. And I said, that's okay. I've driven a car for over 40 years, but that doesn't make me an automobile mechanic. And then on top of the fact that each species is different, cockatoos are different than true parrots, and each species within cockatoo is different. And then on top of that, every one of them has a different personality, and they've all been raised by breeders, and so they don't, with a few exceptions from like 35 years ago, they've been raised by breeders. So each breeder treats them differently depending on how much money they're trying to make. So did they get fed properly? Did they have a diet that was high in seeds, which isn't good for them? Do they even know what broccoli looks like?
Rua's telling that they have classes.
Good.
The rescue, and it's an hour away from them. So yeah, that's absolutely excellent.
And if you do foster, most rescues who do fostering won't let you take home the first bird you foster. So you bring home a bird, you really like that bird, you can't have it. Because they don't want people entering the fostering program for one reason, just to get a bird. So, and besides, if you foster a few,
well, it depends. Sometimes I think it's if the bird is, so if everything fits, or so they might allow you to.
I wouldn't count on it because they want you to get a variety.
not but fostering is fostering, but it's always it really depends. So I wouldn't say
that. Any rescue that's been doing it for a while won't allow that, and the reason they won't allow it is because there are people that's all they're trying to do is to come in, foster the bird, say, oh, I love the bird and everything, so they can get it for almost nothing. They're used to that. So you might find somebody who would let you do it, but you really want to foster more than one. And actually, if you can foster like one for a month or two and another for another couple of months, and then go on, then you'll be much more prepared because they all have different personalities. KK is not anything like Bob. Bob's not anything like Cecil. blue seasonal. I mean, they're not at all like each other. I mean, Jasmine will walk over another bird to get where she wants to go. Sugar's not doing that. Some of them are more vocal. Some will sit around a little more. Others are more active. You want to get some experience before you try to just bring in a bird into your life. It's a big commitment. So, well, it's that time, folks. So, thanks, Anna Marie, Amy, and Eleanor for your assistance. And by the way, they're both on our board of directors, so they're not just moderators. And we're running a little low on funding from our Patreon. So if anybody can join us on patreon.com/Chloe Sanctuary, it would be much appreciated. Help us make those monthly bills. Even though we're here, we still have to pay the bills. So, and who wants to say goodbye? You want to say goodbye, Snowball? No. Okay.
Bye, Bob. Bye, Bob. Bye, bye.
Yeah, he was actually a whole episode super well behaved, Bob. Oh my.
So
Yeah.
Bob can say bye bye.
Yeah, but he doesn't see anybody leaving, so he won't say it.
Becca.
If you're walking away, you're walking out the door. He'll say goodbye to you. But
Bye bye.
you can't get him to say it any other time. Bird? A bird?
A good
A
bird.
snowball bird? Why are you pointing that thing at me? Okay, folks, we'll see you next Monday. We'll probably have Mander in here at that time. So, yeah, I heard you down there. Wait till the camera's off, then you start talking, huh? Oh, yeah, good bird. That's right. You are a good bird. Yeah, you're inhaling when you're talking now, huh? Snowball's a little bird. Now he's a big bird.
Oh, Snowball Ball.
Snowball bird.
You're a good boy,
Thanks for
Snowball
being
Ball.
here. Yes, he is a good boy, aren't you? Good bird. Yes, you are. That's his inhale voice. And thanks for being here, guys. We're going to disappear.
Bye.